For a very long time, EngineOwning has been the leading cheat provider when it comes to Call of Duty titles. Warzone, Warzone 2, and even the newer released Warzone, along with all the multiplayers, MW 2019, Cold War, Vanguard, MW2, MW3, every single one of these games has been tainted by cheaters due to EngineOwning providing cheaters such a cheap price. There was a lawsuit opened up around 2 years ago from Activision against EngineOwning, and this has been something that people have spoken about ever since because it almost felt like it has been brushed under the rug, but hopefully not for much longer, because Activision have just won their court case against EngineOwning and they're asking for over $14 million in damages. But guys, you have to remember that EngineOwning have laughed in the face of Activision for some time. From very early on in Verdansk, they were providing cheats for Call of Duty Warzone. This is something that's been going on for the past 3 or 4 years. It's been happening and we've been dealing with it for a very long time. So the cheating, although it may seem like this is big news and that Activision have won, EngineOwning will continue to operate, whether that means they're going to change their name, whether that means that they are going to just operate under a different domain or change ownership or something along those lines. EngineOwning will always continue to win because they live outside the law. They don't abide by the rules. They don't have to because they're doing something that's slightly corrupt. They're providing cheats for a game, and that game does not allow cheats within it. So this is something that is a bother for me because EngineOwning don't have to abide by the same rules that Activision do, which means EngineOwning are steps ahead of Activision at every corner, at every turn, and at every point. In the past 4 years that we've had to deal with cheaters in the game, EngineOwning have been steps ahead of Activision. So although there is an anti-cheat in the game, we know it's not very efficient. We know it doesn't really work. They should have ventured out and got a third-party anti-cheat, but they didn't. They created their own. It was called Ricochet, and it was meant to be the next big thing in the anti-cheat industry, but it just wasn't. It wasn't effective, and people like EngineOwning were able to bypass that anti-cheat within a matter of minutes, not even hours, but minutes. From the minute it was embedded into the game, EngineOwning were bypassing that within a matter of minutes. The same with multiple other cheat providers. So although this seems like great news on the surface, it really isn't. But let's get into some of the details now of how this has happened and what actually has been stated in the court documents. So this is one of the documents here. United States District Court, Central District of California. As you can see further down, it says here, plaintiff seeks the minimum statutory damages of $200 under the DMCA multiplied by the general approximation of the number of downloads of the cheating software in the United States, 72,328. For a total of $14,465,600. The court finds the request reasonable in light of defendants' willful conduct and plaintiff's request for the minimum amount of damages per violation. So the damages they are suing for are only for those downloads in the United States. And as you could see from the documents, only 72,000 downloads. That's 72,000 people using EngineOwning in a period of time just from America. Bear in mind, these have been used in the UK, they've been used in Canada, they've been used in Japan, China, Germany, everywhere around the world of people playing Call of Duty Warzone. So imagine how big that sum could be if they were able to sue for the overall amount of users around the world who've used EngineOwning in their game. Now, although it seems like quite a lot of money, $14.45 million in damages, they're actually adding an additional $292,900 in legal fees as well. And the judges ruled that EngineOwning website domain has to be transferred over to Activision. Christ knows what Activision are going to do with that. Maybe shut it down, or maybe try and make some money back. So whilst this is all good and well and it seems like it's all positive and that Activision have finally won against EngineOwning, you best believe, like I stated earlier, that EngineOwning are going to continue to try and operate. They're going to continue to try and provide those cheats for that game, whether it's through new ownership, whether it's through a different domain. Well, actually, EngineOwning have put a statement out. In the statement, it says, for the last weeks, we have been working to identify the latest detection vector to increase the overall security of our MW3 cheats. We aim to release a test version shortly after the Call of Duty Season 4 released. The cheat will remain in the unknown status for some time, so we can make sure that there will be no unforeseen issues. Please understand that only after a successful test period we will provide more detailed insight about the detection. All subs will stay frozen until the status is back to undetected. All users with a paid MW3 and Warzone sub will be able to use the cheat while it's on the unknown status. There has been a lot of false claims regarding the lawsuit against EngineOwning. All the guys targeted in the lawsuit are inactive and have been for a long time. The project was handed over to a new owner years ago. Some news articles claim that Activision got access to the data of our users. This is completely false, and to no surprise, those news articles don't link any kind of source. All relevant documents regarding the lawsuit are publicly available if you want to look it up yourself. Now, Activision is trying to claim our EngineOwning.to domain. We have created backup domains listed below and kindly ask you to bookmark them. We hope and think that our domain registrar will not defer to this bogus claim. That would not have been approved by any clear-headed judge with even basic democratic values in a proper jurisdiction. No matter what happens, the data of our users will always be safe. Privacy has always been a top priority for everyone in our team. We have also decided to work on a free light version of our MW3 Warzone cheats with full ESP once the paid cheat is back to undetected. And they listed a whole bunch of domains below. But the one thing I want to focus on here is the fact that their user data is still protected, which means we're not going to see the likes of all the streamers who've been exposed in EngineOwning detections come to light. It would have been great for Activision to actually go out of their way and get that information, so the user data, they could literally name and shame every single person who has used those cheats and within their game as well, and leading to some of them being permabanned. You know, ones who have actually claimed it was a false permaban in the past, when we all know the truth. These guys were not falsely banned. They were caught up in cheat detections, some of them being EngineOwning cheats way back in the day. And honestly, I believe that these guys have been allowed to flourish since being detected, and allowing them to still gain some level of relevance within the industry. Activision need to really knuckle down on this. If they can't get that user data, then we're going to continue to see people like Magnificent entering into the World Series of Warzone, when in reality, he's already been caught and permabanned for cheating in the past. And guess what? That one specifically was definitely an EngineOwning bandwave detection. Are you guys sick of dealing with the stress of Call of Duty? Try Supreme CBD. On a serious note though, guys, Supreme CBD helps me get my head down at night. It genuinely helps me on my day-to-day activities with stress and anxiety. And not to mention, now they have their new mushroom range. I chose Lion's Mane, which is to focus. It helps you get up in the morning and it helps you crack on with your day. If you ever feel lethargic, this is the thing for you. So guys, use code BBB40 at checkout to save 40% off your Supreme CBD order. The link is down below. But anyway, let's get back into the video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Activision actually finally winning their lawsuit. Do you think this is going to make any changes when it comes to the game? Do you honestly believe EngineOwning was the only cheat provider out there? EngineOwning is one of thousands of cheat providers when it comes to Call of Duty Warzone. And the reason there are so many cheat providers for this game is due to the fact that Activision's anti-cheat is a load of shite, and due to the fact that originally they didn't have an anti-cheat in the game. So do Activision truly care? Probably not. They left it so long to finally win this lawsuit. Imagine how long it would take them to eradicate all cheaters from the game. Impossible. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you did enjoy today's video, guys, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future uploads. And if you guys want to contact me about a streamer who you believe is cheating, hit me up on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!